Look at this. Some posting back to school photos on social media is just as much of a part of a new routine as buying a new backpack. But one group says there are some things you should consider before hitting post. Those with the BBB are warning parents first day of school photos may give away sensitive information to people looking to take advantage, even if you didn't mean to make it available. That's why we are so happy to be staying safe with Sydney Waters with the Better Business Bureau. Hey!
Hi.
Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. We want to start with the impact of this kind of situation. What are you seeing on your end?
So, as you said earlier, this has almost become a common practice for people to post these back to school photos. And the trend we've really seen pick up are those boards that everyone posts with. They have a lot of identifiable information like your child's name, the school, what grade they're in, lots of things like that. And we really see a lot of identity theft associated with that information that people are publicly putting out.
And whenever we talk about just how much information we're putting out there, what should people be putting on these boards if they're like, well, what can I do?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the first thing before you post anything is this is a great time to check your privacy settings. So just keeping in mind, you're going to be posting your child and that information, so check those privacy settings. Then if you're going to post your child, you're going to want to have a really unrecognizable background. So no house numbers, no street signs, not the school they go to, and probably just skip the board altogether this year.
And it's so interesting whenever you bring up the point of the stark difference between whenever Facebook was first sort of becoming popular and to how far it has come now. At least I remember growing up, people just posted really everything and under the moon on Facebook, and now you have to be so critical about the information you share.
Exactly. And the reason being is with this information, you're not only setting your child up for identity theft, 59% of people use that identifiable child's name, maybe their address, things like that in their passwords. So you're really putting your passwords at risk as well as being targeted for very specific scams. So if you have grandparents in the area, they now know that they have grandchildren. So you're putting that information out there to be targeted for grandparent scams as well.
Whenever we talk about that information being put on there too, I can hear some of my folks back home who would say, well, I have my Facebook locked down to only 200 people who I know very closely. Oftentimes we see people's accounts be taken over by hackers across the world. Still, even if you think your Facebook is so closed down, you still shouldn't be sharing that information?
Absolutely. I think the safest thing is just a photo, with, like I said, that very discreet background. And then keep in mind too, that around the back to school time, when everyone is putting this identifiable information out, that we're going to see a lot of fake Facebook profiles pop up. And the reason being is they want that identity theft information. So it may be someone you already have on your Facebook account, a duplicate account, or it may be someone new that you've never met. So just really keep that in mind when you're accepting new friends during the back to school time.
Have you had a chance to look at the scam tracker with this?
Yeah, and there's so many scams around identity theft. It's really hard to just target the ones that are based on a back to school board. It's hard to know where they got that information. But if you go to identity theft, it's really one of the top scams on the scam tracker, coming from all avenues. So this is just a safeguard to cut at least one of those avenues for scammers to find that information out about your family.
Hey, I appreciate you taking the time to always making us be sure we're our safest selves.
Thank you. I appreciate being here.
And we appreciate you very much.